Oh, hey, guys.
Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. Seriously, I didn't see you there. What the hell are you doing? Why are you creeping around? Make your presence known. Okay.
The Democratic establishment is melting down after Zohran Mamdani's win in New York City. The man's an overt socialist.
Doing that. Oh my God, that's right, guys. We're returning to the source of all knowledge, from which all knowledge flows. This guy, the funniest guy on YouTube. He really is one of the guys that I laugh out loud at, so I thank him for that. Thank you. Thank you, and
God bless you.
Game they play. My favorite, of course, is everybody's favorite liberal, Sam Cedar. I'm just kidding, by the way. He's actually one of the smallest personalities. To be fair, he's a big personality, but he's a small fish in a big pond. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
He made a video saying my anti-war stance was a grift. Then he went on to show other people's opinions, not mine.
You're a little baby.
And attack my... Because the reality is I am anti-intervention, was very critical of Trump's strikes on Iran, but he's got to lie to his audience because he's evil. That's what he does. He actually came on the show.
Okay, I was not aware of that. He's evil. Okay, that guy's evil. I'm not watching that show anymore then. Is that the guy who goes like this?
Toilet.
Oh my God, he's evil. I'm not watching that. That guy's evil. That
is a freaking predator right there.
Outright admitting.
Whoa.
Outright admitting. This is what they do.
No.
To all of you, to all the audience watching live,
Sickos.
This was a performance so that I can later clip this, share it with my audience, and falsely accuse you of something that you never said.
Oh my God, man.
And his followers, they fall for it because they don't read the news.
Morons.
Well, you know what? How about I just play this video for you, which I'm actually going to be somewhat critical of. I will criticize, but I still think is worth watching. Bernie Sanders.
This might be the greatest moment in news right here. This guy, Sam Cedar, this evil guy. I do agree he's evil.
Toilet.
This evil guy, he's always lying and taking things out of context. Now we're going to watch a TikTok clip. Okay. Let's check out this TikTok clip.
I'm going to be somewhat critical of. I will criticize.
Somewhat.
But I still think it's worth watching. Bernie Sanders on Joe Rogan. Roll tape.
Have you prepared for this?
I am well prepared.
What are your thoughts on this?
There ain't no easy answers. Let me throw that out to you. I don't have a magical solution. I wish I did. I don't. I don't know the answer to your question. Admittedly, it is complicated. I don't have a magic answer. Okay, I don't have the answer to that question.
That's the problem.
What does it mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? So, and again, please, these are complicated issues. I surely don't have all the answers.
Right.
What was they saying? You know, right now, where is it? Jesus, I think, don't quote me on this, maybe in Norway.
Okay, so we got a clip compilation. What would we call this? A supercut. A supercut. Okay. Okay, why are we watching this? This guy's like, people take things out of context. Here's a clip that I mildly, somewhat disagree with. Okay.
So. All right, I'm gonna plead ignorance. Again, I'm trying to think here, and I wish I had better answers for you. I mean, it's a great question. I don't have the easy answer to it. No, I don't know. Yeah, who knows? I cannot tell you. But the answer is yes and no. But
would you agree with that?
I don't have those details. I don't know that I agree with.
Okay.
Now let me just criticize that. Simply because someone said, I don't know the answer to that, doesn't mean his argument failed.
Right.
And what people are pointing out with that clip is they're saying, look at all the times he didn't know what he was talking about. No, hold on.
Right.
Some of the responses, because it's all out of context. We don't know exactly what he's responding to. So you got to be careful of these internet videos. Now, the point is, however, one example, and I will say that many of the times that I don't know, he was talking about climate change, he was talking about money in politics, he was talking about oligarchy and taxing the rich, and Joe Rogan just asked him, what about X?
There's no way around it. This guy's the best YouTuber. He's my favorite content creator, and that's barely a joke. He's all pissed off. He's like, oh man, guys like Sam Cedar, they're liars. They take things out of context. Let me play this video, which is an example of that. It's from a 2-hour podcast, and somebody did a supercut of a bunch of out of context things. Now, you gotta be careful for these things. A lot of that's out of context, but it's generally correct. Okay. All right. Very interesting approach. Here's an example of an out of context thing, man. It's kind of out of context. It's pretty much correct, though. Okay.
So he said something like, in this regard with Elon Musk, a great example. Elon Musk spent $270 billion to elect Donald Trump. And without missing a beat, Rogan goes, and Harris spent 1.5 billion. Your point? And he went, yes, she certainly spent a lot of money. So what's your point? The issue is that they have talked.
Not exactly.
And he went, yes, she certainly spent a lot of money. So what's your point?
Whoa!
The issue is that they have talking points that don't know what they're talking about, and that's why they don't want to come on these shows.
Wait, hold on.
Because they
Take
look,
that again. Take that again.
The issue is that they have talking points that don't know what they're talking about, and that's why they don't want to come on these shows.
Whoa,
because
jeez, hey, man, calm down, bro.
You're getting too passionate about this, man. It's
You care too much, man. He's the best, man. But this is, and I mean this is the best newsman who's ever lived. The old-timey newsmen, they come out in a suit. They're like, oh, Vietnam or whatever. It's boring. This is what I want. I'm having a hard time, believing that there's not something fishy going on. Something highly suspicious going on over at the Tim Pool Studios. We'll see more of that later. But I imagine, a lot of Tim Pool fans also watch Rogan, They probably watch this. How many views on this? 2.6 mil. Not bad, Joe.
hey, good job, Joe. You're doing your best, man.
Probably a lot of Tim Pool viewers watch that. And what they would see if they watched, like I did, watched in the entire 1 hour, 51 minutes of this, is Joe pretty much agreed with everything that Bernard Saunders was saying. I mean, they spent the whole time agreeing with him on everything. Oh, except for Joe brought up a climate change thing that he read wrong, and he thinks the president should sue the media. Other than that, he pretty much agreed with everything the guy said. And especially this part. Joe was in full agreement on this part. If you go watch the video, I don't know why he's doing this. This is where he gets suspicious, Because especially this part, Bernard Saunders is going on and on droning. Many say droning. I don't. Bernard Sanders going on and on about Citizens United and money and politics stuff. Joe's in full agreement on this. Tim Pool's oh man, he owned the ass of that 83-year-old man,
The money has started flowing, and it's been
Stop,
flowing
Joe.
for a long time now.
No, it
and
hasn't.
This is the issue with starting something that you can't stop.
That's not
Well,
an
you can
issue.
stop it.
You can stop.
And you got to stop it.
Okay, but if you do stop it, all these people are going to throw all their money at stopping you from stopping, correct? Right?
Exactly.
They're going to come up with the best commercials with American flags. This country's all about competition and freedom.
You got it.
The freedom to donate to the party of your choice.
You got it.
Yeah.
Good.
No, Joe was agreeing the whole time on this. Hey, Elon Musk, he just kind of bought the government for a while there. And then Joe's hey, Kamala Harris had a lot of money too. And Bernard's oh yeah, both sides, Joe. And Joe's I agree. And Bernard's okay, where's the bathroom? I love that though. Sam Cedar, this liar, Sam Cedar. I'm in a feud with Sam Cedar too. Because his co-host said that
You're a little baby.
I'm your little baby. And he called me a
toilet.
But he's this guy, Sam Cedar, is such a liar. And now I'm going to kind of totally, obviously misrepresent this video that's totally publicly available for anybody to watch right now.
And he went, yes, she certainly spent a lot of money. So what's your point? The issue is that they have talking points that don't know what they're talking about, and that's why they don't want to come on these shows.
So all I'm saying is you got a corrupt campaign finance system on both sides, which is rejecting the will of the American people.
Because they look real dumb.
Well, hey,
Now, there
man.
are some shows they do go on, of course. They tend to go on each other's shows where they know they'll be in a safe space.
Exactly.
There's a famous moment where Crowder was going to have a discussion with, I think it was Ethan Klein.
Okay.
And then he
Never
calls
heard of
in,
him?
and they just switch the camera to, was it Sam Cedar?
Right.
And Crowder's okay, I get it. Thanks, have a nice day. And they use that because they're basically WWE. They're not really.
How does this match up? How does that match up? I mean, the best. The guy's the best. I heard he's going to be on the Adam Friedland show. Again, that's my Super Bowl, NBA Finals, everything wrapped into one. Why has that not been released? But this part is my favorite part. It's these people, I guess Bernard Sanders, they don't want to come on the show because they're scared. They want to keep it safe. Then he brings up an example, and also taking it back to Sam Cedar too. He fully circles back here. He ties it all in. Hey, these people, they're scared, they're running away. Then he brings up an example of a guy who was running away from a debate with Sam Cedar. And Sam Cedar had to like trick him into doing a debate. I mean, this guy's adorable. It's like, I'm just going to say it. I love him. He's my son. I love him. He's my favorite content creator. He's brought me hours of enjoyment. And I hope he continues in ad ternum.
Sanders sparred with Rogan over political donations during a discussion of the Citizens United Supreme Court decision. The ruling found that political donations were a form of speech and therefore could not be limited under the First Amendment.
Okay.
Sanders slammed Citizens United.
Clearly reading this for the first time. Okay, go ahead.
Has made the worst decision the Supreme Court has ever made.
Right.
I don't completely disagree.
Oh!
The idea that super PACs exist and the only requirement is they not coordinate with the campaign is ridiculous.
Right. So what was the point of this then? Oh, Joe Rogan and Bernard Sanders were agreeing with each other. Oh, man. Bernard Sanders really got owned on that one. Also, I agree with them. What an own from the great... What the hell is the guy's name?
The man asks me a hard question.
This is too easy. Honestly, I'm making fun of a little kid. But a 250,000 people watch this in 11 hours. And he's like, oh, what the hell is your point, you moron? What a bunch of morons. I agree, actually. This is what I gotta do? This is what I gotta do out here to pass that, to get that silver YouTube crap?
Outspoken opponent of big money in politics.
You got it.
State that both parties rely on billionaire donors, and he doesn't limit his criticisms to Republicans and Musk, though that's certainly what he went for. Let's talk about...
What does that mean? What does that mean? This is a Fox News article, man, and it just kind of like disproved what you were saying. And it just kind of flipped over your whole segment here. I'm jealous of this guy. Just let the camera roll. I'm going to contradict myself like 18 times with you within 10 minutes. 250,000 views. Is this what I got to do right here, man?
And billionaire donors, and he doesn't limit his criticisms to Republicans and Musk, though that's certainly what he went for.
You got it.
Let's talk about your private jet, Bernie Sanders.
Okay.
You're not going to hear me defending the Democratic Party on the issue. During the election, it wasn't just Musk and the Republicans putting a lot of money into Trump.
So another one against your segment. Another mark against your segment there. Okay, go ahead.
Kamala and other candidates as well, and I can respect that. And that's why Bernie Sanders actually went on Rogan's show.
Okay.
Bernie thinks he's right and has no problem saying, I don't know that. And maybe that's the conversation that makes Bernie Sanders realize maybe I'm wrong. But let me just give you guys...
Okay, none of that. If that was just straight up packing peanuts right there. None of that meant anything. So I think he's referencing that misleading clip he was playing earlier. If I had to guess at what any of that meant. Hey, remember that clip I played that was just like a bunch of out of context clips? Guy admits when he's wrong, I guess. And maybe that's the conversation we need to be having, that he's wrong. Okay? I think that's what the segment you're doing is about, if I'm not mistaken or something. It's okay. You forgot what you were talking about, maybe. That's all right. You're doing your best, man.
And maybe that's the conversation that makes Bernie Sanders realize maybe I'm wrong. But let me just give you guys a little morsel.
Gross.
Old Tim Pool here. I fly on private jets. Typically, I don't fly on private jets. I fly on private planes.
I can't wait to hear more.
Usually it's cheaper.
Whoa. No. We do not do that here. Sorry to interrupt the monologue, Spalding Gray. Okay, that's a reference that like 1 or 2 people will get there. Hey, can I get a word in edgewise here? I was going to say, I can't wait to hear more about you flying on private jets. I can't wait. Or planes or whatever it is. Oh my God. I'm positively glued to the screen on this one, man. Oh man, please.
Please tell me more.
Old Tim Pool here. I fly on private jets.
No way, man.
Typically, I don't fly on private jets. I fly on
private jets. I don't fly on Technically, I don't fly on private jets. I fly on private jet, one at a time. Anyway, I gotta go to the bathroom.
We fly turboprop. Usually, it's cheaper.
Oh, wow. Oh,
So,
you know about
I
that.
run a
That's
large
amazing.
and
Okay. 250,000 people watch this. I gotta get to the thing, so I take the jet.
Round trip from here to New York's probably $15,000. You get 7 seats on a turboprop. Not bad. You want to fly in a jet? It's going to be like $23,000 to $25,000 round trip from DC to New York.
Oh, did you Google that or what?
It takes about an hour, hour 10.
This is almost like the Joe Rogan thing. Like, imagine uploading this. You know, at least what, 200,000 people are going to watch this? I'm going to just talk about jet schedules and pricing for a good 5 minutes of this 14-minute video. It's almost inspiring that this gets this many views.
That being said, Bernie Sanders flew on a, what was it? It was a Hawker or something. It was like a large, very expensive luxury jet.
Right.
And then said, oh, but it was the only thing but get out of here, dude.
Okay.
You could have flown on a turboprop. You get out of here.
Okay, so 5 minutes of jet, Google searched Wikipedia stuff about private planes and jets for that. Oh, Bernard Sanders took a private plane somewhere. Okay. So just to sum up the video, it's 14 minutes. You go watch this right now. What is it called? Joe Rogan humiliates Bernard James. Pendejo. Democrat has no answers to back up leftist and liberal claims. Okay, great. So we're doing a commentary on a Joe Rogan appearance that got 2.6 million views. They talk about like a million things in there. You could go watch that video and say, well, I looked into this a little bit. Here's what I think. Instead, what we get is this guy's a moron. Sam Cedar's a liar. Here's a supercut from TikTok. Then the thing I said was stupid, I actually agree with. Then we go on for like 5 minutes about what it's like to be in a private plane and the cost associated with that and the scheduling and for like, honestly, like 5 minutes. And the punchline to that is Bernard Sanders took a private jet because he does a tour, because he's touring around. He's 83, he's probably going to croak soon. He's doing a tour. Okay, yeah, we really addressed all the issues that Joe and Bernard were like 95% agreeing on in that dumb 2-hour interview. Besides that, like having 2 hours of content to talk about and not talking about any of it, except for a thing that you say you disagree with and then you agree with like in the next breath. It's funny how lazy this is because CNN, Fox News, they all did this. They were like, hey, Bernard Sanders, you say that billionaires are bad because they take private jets, but you took one, man? Oh, you took one, bro. Bernard Sanders is a famous person. Like that. Bernard Sanders, effectively right now is a famous person who, like, advocates for public health care, amongst some other stuff, but mostly public health care. That's what he does. So this is the move, instead of being like, oh, no, you can't do that. Public health care, we'll all die or whatever. They're like, you take a private jet, man. Yes, I do. Oh, got you. How so? I'm famous. Okay. Right.
To the fourth turning, assuming it's correct, which
It's
states
not.
simply, every fourth generation, you get a bunch of lazy, entitled crackpots.
Sounds legit.
The reality may be that without experience of hardship, people tend to vote for things that are destructive.
Absolutely.
And Zohran Mamdani is another example. Now, he may be either dangerously stupid or dangerously evil.
I was hoping you would say there. Now, either he's dangerously stupid or stupidly dangerous. Anyway, that's a little joke there. That's not really a joke, Anyway, I gotta go to the bathroom.
But for all intents and purposes, it's effectively the exact same thing. Now, the funny thing about this is I love watching the establishment Democrats self-immolate in chaos over what is currently going on.
Right, that's what you're doing too, by the way. Oh, I love seeing the establishment Democrats who are really pissed off about this guy. I'm pissed off about this guy. Yeah, kind of the same crap, right, man? Interesting that you didn't spot that one.
The deeper concern is that this will spread.
Like dominoes.
And you know what? I accept that, because I was talking about it quite a bit, saying, you know what, fine, let baby have his bottle. Let the socialists get what they want.
Right.
But it will just entrench itself, and it won't stop. Now, in this instance, it's isolated to the...
What does that mean? But it will just entrench itself. We're doing a little improv here, right? Not really writing anything down. Hey, Only 200,000 people are going to watch this. I don't need to write anything down or really even know what I'm talking about before I start recording. Yeah, this is where Tim Pool's content starts to get real suspicious. I've always thought that this guy's just like a hilarious dingbat, you know? Just a wacky pendejo. But the kind of the whole news, like everywhere I click around, people are kind of like losing it a little bit. A guy wants free buses and probably a handful of city-run supermarkets and food deserts in New York City, and people are just like, this is where we're all gonna die, you know? You know Tim Pool, the guy who hates corporate media. Oh, weird, he's saying the exact same stuff. Weird. But this is kind of a funny little part. I mean, everything is like topsy-turvy in Tim Pool's world. I think it's just because he improvs all this. Like, he just like clicks record and then just like brings up an article and just starts going. That it's just like, you know. But he's like, the real concern. Because, like, yeah, why are you so worried about this? You don't live anywhere near New York City. Yet every other video for the past couple days, oh my God, oh no, the big New York City real estate companies are getting so pissed off. Oh, this is a serious problem. Yeah, you don't live there. What do you care? So either he figured out a way to square the circle here on why he cares, or there's something suspicious going on here. And what he came up with here is, oh, no, what if this spreads?
What if this spreads around?
Oh, no, what if these modest social programs are so successful that other people in other places vote for people like this guy? Oh, no. We gotta stop this at any cost.
Let baby have his bottle. Let the socialists get what they want. But it will just entrench itself, and it won't stop. Now, in this instance, it's isolated to the cities,
right?
But it's expanding.
Okay.
Chicago voted in a socialist, and everyone's pissed off.
That's a city,
maybe in the next
too.
election things will change, but I doubt it.
Right.
New York City's voting leftist every single time.
That's the same city you mentioned the first time. Okay, go ahead.
Further and further.
Right.
It's almost like as they fall off the cliff, they argue that they're actually just not falling fast enough and they do everything they can to speed things up.
Right. Whoa. Now I get it. I wasn't following until you gave that metaphor. Now I get it. Now I gotta go to the bathroom. I mean, I'm a Tim Pool mega fan. You know, I watch basically everything he puts out, which is totally healthy and normal. And this is funny because he's like really concerned with these cities that he lives nowhere near, you know? Oh my God, look at what Chicago did. Look what New York City, I'm so pissed off. Tim Pool lives in, you know, like a red statey kind of situation. He lives in like the woods in West Virginia or something. And because I'm a Tim Pool mega fan, I happen to know because he's uploaded videos about this, because we can never stop uploading. He's uploaded videos where he's like, this place sucks. If I knew it was going to be like this when I moved here, I would have never moved here in the goddamn first place. He's just in like constant turmoil with where he lives. It just makes it kind of funny. It's like, these cities, man, they're out of control. Shape up, New York City and Chicago. I would think more locally. Just a personal note. Think more locally, you know? Make a few friends outside of the bubble that you're in. Get out of whatever problems you're in with the local government as well. But this is really funny because like all media is trying to figure out how to talk about this, you know? Like I just watched a video of a guy on Patreon. Oh, if you want to check this out, go check out patreon.com. Check it out on Patreon. But a lot of, you know, like CNN type people, they're like, we know what happened here. This is basically an age of extremes. This is basically the other side of the same coin as Trump. People are just, they want something different, you know? That's their move. You know, it's not like, people kind of want buses to be free or free childcare or, you know, whatever, rent protection. People, it's not about that, man. So they're a little concerned about this, about talking about this. Tim Pool just comes out with it. We're worried that other people will like this. I'm actually worried this will be successful and other people will like it and want to try it. Could you imagine a thing working somewhere and then other people want it? That's sick. That's not the country that I grew up in. He's the best. It's like, whoops, I accidentally told the truth. That's kind of incriminating. But who cares? I'll upload it anyway. 200,000 views.
Regain control of your finances with Tax Network USA. Shout outs. And now, without further ado, let's just get into the news.
Okay.
We've got this story from Axios. Democratic establishment melts down over Mamdani's win in New York.
They go like this.
Many Democratic leaders and donors are panicking
Whoa.
about Zohran Mamdani, the 33-year-old Democratic socialist
That's
who
young.
won the party's nomination to be the next mayor of New York City.
Wow.
Establishment Democrats looking to recover from 2024's losses fear Mamdani could hurt the party's brand nationally, while
Right.
young progressives believe his formula could spread beyond New York.
God
I think
forbid.
both are true. The far left crackpot communist psychotic ideologies will
Right.
absolutely spread. And
That's really funny that he can't spot the kind of funny irony here. Oh, the Democratic establishment is melting down. He's like, ha ha ha, those morons. I love to see them melt down. This is something I'm gonna melt down about also. Spot something interesting about that, Mr. Anti-Establishment there?
look at my penis.
No, come on. That can't be your answer for everything, man.
Okay, let's talk about the ramifications.
No, man.
Shares of firms tied to NYC real estate tank over fears of Mamdani's rent freeze, the Zohran effect. Let's go already. People are losing money. I love it.
Wow.
Vornado Realty Trust and SL Green, two of the Big Apple's largest developers, plunged more than 5%. Oh, man. That's brutal.
Oh,
Let's
no.
go. Look at that smile on Zohran's face as the markets crumble around him.
Right.
If you guys don't know much about
Right. Have you forgotten what you've been uploading for the past 4 years? Here's an example.
BlackRock is buying every single family house they can find, paying 20 to 50% above asking price and outbidding normal home buyers. Why are corporations, pension funds, and property investments groups buying entire neighborhoods?
Right.
Well, he goes on to say it's basically the Great Reset.
Hey, look, this is not my fault. He uploaded this. I didn't start this. Not my fault. Really, honest. Not even lying, one of the funniest guys on YouTube. Because there's like just video after video where he's talking about BlackRock. People are always talking about BlackRock. What the hell is that? BlackRock is just a company that buys crap. That's how I think about it. BlackRock. Ooh, that sounds cool. They buy up a bunch of crap, I guess. Okay, if you want to be annoying about it, it's an investment company. Ooh, excuse me.
Excuse me, Mr. Fancy Pants. Ooh.
And there's video after video where they're like, oh man, BlackRock, what the hell, man? Nobody can buy anything anymore because BlackRock owns everything, all this stuff. You know, it's true. They bought up a bunch of crap, including housing and all this stuff, you know. But the complaint, the main complaint here, video after video, oh man, this is sick. This is evil. This investment company buying up all this stuff. You know, we buy up all this crap and then figure out a way to maximize profits on this, all this garbage. You could look in all his comments on these videos too. It's like, you know, there's something unsettling about that. Just a giant company owning all this stuff to maximize profits and stock value and all this stuff. Then we switch to this video. This is where things get highly suspicious with Tim. Then we switch to this video and he's like, oh, those same companies that I've been talking about, same type of company where they're trying to maximize stock value, profit, all this stuff. Oh, they're getting a little freaked out that they might not be able to do the max version of that in New York City. Oh, see, this is bad. Okay. All right, man. Do you remember what you've been uploading? Remember that? Yeah, this is the thing, man. When you say stuff, when you're like lying or whatever, you got to write it down. Lying is stressful because you got to like remember all this crap, you know? I stopped doing it. I used to do it all the time, but I'm like, it's too much crap to remember, you know? But if you're going to do it, you got to write down, you know, and then you reference it. Oh, right, I can't say this because of the other stuff that I said. Okay, this next part, I can't believe, he uploaded this. Okay, here we go.
No opinion, and 26 said fascism, a fairly even split. In the UK, 74 said communism, and 26 said fascism. How about them apples?
Right.
As of today, in the United States, 28% say communism and 17% say fascism.
Right.
And that's pretty shocking if you ask me. Because communism and fascism both had their negatives substantially. But communism went on to mass murder more people than any other political ideology.
So fascism is the better
history.
choice. Let me get this straight, man. So clearly, guys, when given the look, gun to your head, man. Fascism, communism. I think we got a winner here, guys. You know? Anyway, Where's the bathroom? Oh, it's your house, man. Oh, right.
Don't get me wrong, fascists were bad. And Hitler did a lot of really, really bad things, some of the worst in history as well.
But
Any genocidal maniac has reached that apex of evil. But communists were substantially more successful in mass murder. That's why it's crazy that anybody would choose either of them.
oh,
Where are we
okay.
now?
But one sounded kind of better the way you were describing it, man. This is what I literally think every time I watch a Tim Pool episode. Every time I watch my stories, every time I have this thought, I'm like, it's kind of like a little kid, doing a show. Like if I had a kid, he's, I look into his stupid little room, there's crap everywhere, Clean that crap up, you little brat, I think. And then I see he's in there, he's like, oh, today on the show we have Spider-Man. So how do you like doing what you do, man? And I'm like, oh my God, that's so cute. He's doing a little show. Then he starts saying troubling things, and I'm like, oh, right, this is a little human being. This is a little wild animal. I gotta tell him why this and that is wrong, I have that feeling every time I watch Tim Pool. Oh, he's doing a cute little show. Oh, whoa, took a weird turn. Oh, also kind of interesting, kind of telling. I mean, I love this guy because he accidentally reveals these startling things that grown-ups, let's be honest, grown-ups kind of keep secret, But, we're making this choice. Oh, man, fascism or communism. Oh, my God. We got to make this choice, man. He's presenting this choice. Oh, one of these two. You got to pick one of these two. Oh, one of them is kind of better. I didn't say that. And he's shouting comunista about stuff that mostly already exists. The post office already exists. The free bus thing, there was a pilot program for it in every borough. It worked out fine. So that's, there's another choice, guys. A better one. Those people did some bad stuff, but come on, bro. Interesting, and I would say highly suspicious assessment here by the king of all news, Timothy James.
Toilets.
Okay, blah, 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 on and on. Bep, 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 bep. Get a zoom in on this guy. Bep, 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 bep. No, man, come on, back that way. On and on like that. But look, this is New York City. These people are crazy, They're eating pizza for every other meal, these lunatics, They're walking here. They're like, hey, let's go get an iced coffee. I don't know what these lunatics are doing over there, So, we're going to have to win in the battle of ideas. Oh, go ahead, try your comunista ideas. They're going to fail and then right back to normal. So, in a way, Tim has already won. No need to go on and on any other crap, right?
With Zohran Mamdani's tremendous win in New York in the Democratic primary,
Never heard of him.
Become the news, and this guy's profile is skyrocketing. And now, Rep. Andy Ogles is saying he should be denaturalized, stripped of his citizenship, and deported. Now, it's an interesting, albeit aggressive maneuver, but there is a question about when
That's
we
one
actually...
way. That's one way to describe it, right?
But we typically never go near that because it seems a bit, aggressive. But this is just the beginning.
Yeah.
Democrats at the National...
Right, like if I booted your little ass out of the country, you'd be like, this is a tad aggressive. I don't like this guy wears hats all the time. I'm gonna boot his little ass out. That's a little aggressive. I'll go. It's a little aggressive, though, man.
Boom.
That's me kicking you out like this.
Boom.
You go, hey, it's a little aggressive, man.
I respectfully
Exactly,
urge
man.
the Department of Justice to determine whether Mr. Mamdani's conduct prior to naturalization warrants formal review under applicable law. And I'll
Totally,
say
man.
it first, I'm for it. Investigate him. 100%.
Yeah, you won in the battle of ideas, man. You won so hard that you're like, oh yeah, maybe deport this guy? Look, these ideas that he's got are terrible. It's going to destroy New York City. Deport him also. This guy. Is there an adult connected to this guy who can help out? Step in. Hey, buddy, let's take a break, man. Take a little break.
So here's a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Here's an Nancy Mace's poll. Should Zohran Mamdani be denaturalized and deported? Yes, no, not sure. What do you think won? Which one do you think is winning? I think yes.
From Nancy Mace, I'm going to guess yes. From her followers, okay?
Yes.
Yeah, it's an audience, so I think yes, but I would vote no if I could.
All right, so...
we got one no.
What's the votes in the room? You say no. What do you say,
Right.
Mary?
I already voted yes.
Okay, you voted yes.
Yeah.
What say you,
Mary.
Phil?
Yes, for being a communist, not for anything. Really, because of his ideology. I don't care.
I voted yes because he's not a.
That's great, Phil. That's great, Phil. I appreciate the honesty, I guess. Hey, I don't like this guy's ideas. Kick him out of the country. All right. You know what? I don't like Phil's ideas. Let's kick his little hatted ass out of I mean, what are we doing over here at the Tim Pool compound, at the Tim Pool skate park? By the way, this is when you know you've absolutely won in the battle of ideas. Oh, I don't like that guy's ideas. Kick him out. Great, man.
Okay, you voted yes.
Yeah.
What say you, Phil?
Yes, for being a communist, not for anything else. Oh, literally, only because of his ideology. I don't care.
I voted yes because he's not American and has no right to be here.
Well, he is American because he's a
naturalized.
citizen.
Yeah, he's a citizen.
Yeah, I just don't believe that he is meaningfully American more than someone who was.
I reject the
And whose
idea that
parents
the only way you can be American is by being born here. I think like
reject that too.
all of us, we won the geographic lottery.
Okay, interesting. An interesting bunch of characters over at the Tim Pool thing. Perfectly normal. Locked in a compound in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by cameras and weirdos. It's a perfectly healthy environment for this kind of crap, you know? Totally normal, dude. Okay, so this guy's like a Reason. What is it? Reason.com or whatever the hell that website is? He's a libertarian. And even he looks sane. In the Tim Pool Island of Lost Children. Here we go.
I'm an American, and I
No, you're
like
not.
America, and like I said, what it stands for.
you
But I
out.
think there is something powerful about, there's been a lot of talk right now that America, or that New York City specifically, has a big foreign-born population, which I'll make a couple of points. For one, that's not new. I mean, Ellis Island, it has always represented, kind of this
Right.
this melting pot and a promise of opportunity.
No.
And I think that is a good thing.
Okay,
and so
I would
if
prefer
someone
not to conflate immigration
Now, hold on, hold on.
1965 with
All
post.
right,
Let Tim talk.
This is important, though. No one here did anything to earn what this country
That's
was.
what I'm saying.
And that's why I deserve your stuff when you die, not your children. Your children should get nothing from you. The state should seize everything you built in your life, and I get to have it.
Do you believe that?
You do.
No, I don't.
You certainly, you just argue that people who aren't from here can have all the stuff that the Americans built.
That's not at all what I argue.
So if like my,
What a riveting discussion. What a meaningful discussion we're having here. I know there are many great legal minds watching this, lawyers and stuff who have to make arguments and cases, all this stuff. Oh, this is my impression of a lawyer. Oh, I like to argue, That's an impression there. But there's a lot of people watching this who are like, oh, I know how to make a good arguments and all this stuff. You ain't coming nowhere close to timcast. What is it? Is it a com or tim.cast? Was that one available? You ain't coming nowhere close. You. Pendejo. Probably one of the best arguments I've ever heard, that that fascism is preferable to free bus rides and city-owned grocery stores. Now we get an amazing one here, because they go on and on for like 4,000 minutes, where Tim Pool seems to believe that like immigrants, or I guess anyone who moves from one country to a different country, if you move there and live there, you're stealing. You're stealing from his family, I guess, his ancestors. Ooh, this doesn't ring any bells. You're stealing, or you're doing something terrible, but basically stealing from his ancestors and him, I guess. I mean, the Reason guy, the libertarian guy, brings up everything about this. New York was basically made by immigrants. Whatever. All these arguments. Blah 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 blah. All this stuff. I mean, this is one of those where it's like, why am I even arguing against this? So stupid. Does this mean people shouldn't travel? The way that Tim Pool is talking about this, like, people shouldn't even be allowed to travel. Like, literally. So it's little kid stuff. Demented, crazy little kid stuff. But what I like about this is, like, if the Reason libertarian guy is, like, the sane one in the room, it's you're in trouble. That's big trouble, man. That's big.
Toilets.
That's
Weird. That's really weird.
weird.
I'm talking specifically about people who come here. I mean, there's a...
like who built the Brooklyn Bridge?
I mean, I am not, but I wouldn't take credit for it.
I think it was the Brooklyn Bridge Corporation.
That's to me, that's an analogy.
Hey, I'm just gonna throw out something here. Who built the Brooklyn Bridge? Hey, we're having an argument. I don't want any, not only immigrants, but I guess people traveling to the United States. And by the way, who built the Brooklyn Bridge? I thought this was going to be an own of some kind, but I think that was just a question. I guess, okay, we'll answer that question. The people who built the Brooklyn Bridge were the exact kind of immigrants that you're now demonizing, honestly. Not just the people who built it, like engineers and everything. The Tim Pool of the late 1800s or whatever the hell would have been like, these pieces of crap. You know what I mean? Like, oh, man. Yeah, I guess he was just wondering. Hey, by the way, I just thought something. I'm making a case against any immigration or any travel to the United States. Hey, well, I just thought of this. Who built the Brooklyn Bridge? Those are my ancestors, immigrants, who I'm arguing against right now. In other news, I gotta go to the bathroom. So, it's a whole bunch of crazy stuff on this wacky channel, but don't worry, only 150,000 people watched it in 6 hours, Well, anyway, guys, there's a peek into a guy who, I don't believe has any idea what the hell he's doing, or there's something fishy, who knows. But anyway, guys, ooh, wait a minute.
I gotta check this out.
It's our favorite day. That's right, the day we all love and enjoy. The day we all give thanks and praise to the Lord.
Praise God.
God bless you.
For we look up at that Lord and we go, we look to the clouds and we say to God, we say,
You're a little baby.
And then he gives us one of these.
Boom.
Talk to you guys next week. Join Patreon if you want more episodes. If you want more absolute fire slam dunks like this, please, for the love of...
Praise God.
Join the Patreon. Have a good weekend, guys. Be sure to do lots of this. Bye-bye. Do lots of this. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Hey guys, I'm just a normal dude and not an AI-generated voice, so give me a break. Anyway, guys, hey, guess what? You're missing episodes every week. All you gotta do to subscribe on Patreon for as little as $2 per month. By the way, that's per month. We're talking month, $2. Oh my God. Virtually nothing, okay? All you gotta do to subscribe on Patreon, get every episode, is click the link in the description. Wow. Wait, hold on, that's it? Okay. I must have read something wrong here, because it can't be that easy. That's ridiculous. But anyway, guys, have a good weekend, and, you do what you do. You do what you do. Whatever. I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.